Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today, we're going to talk about when you realize what people are capable of. It's very interesting how when somebody, whether it be a friend or a love interest, whatever, when they show you who they are, and when you see them do something that you thought they would have never done to you, it's hard to ever have the same feelings for that person, whether it be wanting to hang out with them or, as I said, a love interest. Because, and listen to this carefully, because you know what they're capable of. And once somebody is capable of something, you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's almost like, I hate to compare it to a dog, but once a dog bites, you never know if it's going to bite again. You just never know. So you don't fully trust it. You always have in the back of your head when you leave children around it or even when you're around it. So that's the way it is with anything that shows you their true nature. And on the other side of the coin, when somebody hurts you, when somebody walks out on you and you feel devastated, you feel defeated, you feel hurt, you have to look at yourself and you have to carefully dissect this situation. And you think to yourself, am I feeling bad? Am I mourning what I thought could have been? You have to really look at this situation and see, am I missing reality? Or am I missing what I thought could have been? What first brought this to my mind is an old TV show called Frasier. He was a call-in psychiatrist, and a woman called in and she was devastated about her breakup. And he said, "You're not mourning what was, you're mourning what you thought could have been." So if you break it down and really look at it, what is the reality of the relationship and what is in your mind, the daydream. But you have to really dissect what is the reality. What are you missing? And then it circles back to if he or she or whoever walked out on you and it wasn't really a good reason. Even if you got back to them, we circle back to, you know what they're capable of. So would you ever trust them again? Or would you always be on somewhat of an alert? Because you never know when it's going to happen again. So there's so many things to look at in a breakup. And I know, regardless who it is, regardless, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be with anybody. And when you dissect it, when you break it down, and you really think about what you're missing, at first it's almost like we're in a fog. It's hard to see things clearly. It's hard to put on those glasses that really let you see things for what they are. But in time, when the dust settles and you can really see the reality and you really break it down and you really dissect it, 9 times out of 10, I would say, you say to yourself, wow, I really dodged that bullet. Because we all deserve to be treated well. I'm not saying that, fantasize this ideal perfect person, because there are no perfect people. However, sometimes when somebody is good to you and they don't cause you drama, that is sometimes mistaken for being boring. But it's not boring. It's real and it's a good person. That's what true love looks like. I think so many of us have been through so much that we kind of get disoriented with what true love really is and what true love really looks like. But true love shouldn't cause you the drama. It shouldn't cause you the stress or be distressed. I'm in no means trying to get anybody to leave anybody. I'm by far not saying that. What I'm saying, if somebody leaves you, remember, first of all, you know what they're capable of. You always would be looking over your shoulder because you're not sure if you're going to do something that they don't like or whatever. If you dissect the relationship, what left you, what left your life, was it real? Were you really seeing it for what it was? Or are you missing what you thought you could have had with that person, which in reality may or may not ever happened? And then we need to remember that because somebody loves us and treats us good, it doesn't mean they're boring. It means that that is what true love looks like. And unfortunately, I think true love is so foreign to so many of us. True love where people don't cause you drama, don't cause you stress. I had a girl rent a room from me, and she was in such bad shape. So I thought, I'm really going to help her. Every day she'd come downstairs, and I would say, good morning. I'd try to make her life real pleasant, sunshine, whatever. She came home one day, and she told me, I keyed my ex-husband's car. So if the police call, don't tell them I did it. And I thought, oh my God, why? Why would you even tell me, first of all? Then she came home one day and she said, I stole my ex-husband's dog. And I thought, this girl is so used to living in a drama-filled life that having a peaceful life, which I tried very hard to give her, she wasn't used to it. She couldn't live it. She couldn't be in it. And I realized some people are so used to drama, so used to living that way, that when things settle down, it is sadly mistaken for boring, or they don't know what to do. Some people don't know what to do when there's not drama in their life. But I would encourage you to seek less drama and enjoy life instead of always looking over your shoulder. When you live in the state of drama, you're always looking over your shoulder instead of being in the present moment and really enjoying where you are. When you start eliminating drama, then you can enjoy, then you can really be your true self. Then you can truly love those that are around you, and you can interact with those around you without being distracted mentally with drama. And I know it seems foreign to so many because sometimes life is full of drama. And to this point, you may or may not have lived in a drama-filled lifestyle. But I would encourage you, encourage myself, encourage all of us to start eliminating drama, no matter how foreign it feels. And it's interesting when you develop a new lifestyle or step into something a little different, it does feel foreign at first. It really does, because we're not used to it. Regardless of how good or bad something is, when it's different, you're not used to it. When it's something that's familiar to you, you feel more comfortable, whether it's good or bad. There's a comfort there because there's a familiarity there. So if your life is changing, if somebody left you, I'm not saying don't be hurt, because I know it hurts. But remember that you're also not looking through real clear vision, because we do get kind of a fog. We kind of get consumed in what could have been. But when you relax and break it down and think about what could have been or what really was, like I said, 9 times out of 10, you'll say, wow, I dodged that bullet. And start adjusting your life to be more of a drama-free life. Enjoy meeting new people, whether it's romantic or friendships or whatever it is. Just be there, be present, enjoy the conversation, enjoy what you're learning from that person, In short, enjoy life. That's how you truly enjoy life. Living in a state of drama is not enjoying life. It's like a survival mode. But at first, it might seem different and foreign to you. And when drama is taken from you, and this happens to a lot of people, I'm not an expert in this, but I think people that are recovering from one thing or another, suddenly life seems almost boring until you make that transition from drama to living a calm, enjoyable life instead of always being in a state of waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're able to enjoy who you are, who you're with, who they are, your conversations, what you're doing. You can fully engage in what you're doing. And it's just by tweaking your life and making a conscious effort to eliminate the drama. And if there's people that are around you that are always causing you drama, I'm not saying you need to walk away from those people. You might consider keeping those at arm's length. Because have you ever noticed there's certain people that constantly bring drama? I, in fact, had a conversation with someone that I haven't spoken with for a while, and it was like one issue after another. And I thought, oh my gosh, these things are over and done, and we should be past it by now. But some people choose to live in that constant state of turmoil, that constant state of drama. Have you ever been around a couple, a family, a person, and it seems like they're always enjoying their life? It seems like they're always doing something fun. It seems like their life is full. If you really observe that person, you will find that they don't wallow in drama. They live mainly guided in the present moment, keeping priorities straight. That is a big part of it, as well as keeping your priorities straight, keeping the people in your life in the priority that they should be kept in. So if you feel like you're someone who has been living in drama, whether it's created by your surroundings, for whatever reason it came, work at eliminating it and try living without the drama. And at first it might seem foreign, especially if you were raised in a household that was dramatic. But the goal here is to live in health and happiness and in the present moment and being your best self. And all of that equates to living a drama-free life so you can be present. Because when you're living in drama, you're mentally distracted. And when you're mentally distracted, you aren't being your best self. You're not being fully present. So when you find someone, or friends, lover, romantic interest, whatever it is, and they treat you good and they don't bring drama to the equation, do not mistake it for being boring, but put in your head that this is what love looks like. Love from friends, romantic relationships, whatever, but it shouldn't be dramatic. I know all relationships have ups and downs, and so we can't expect them to be perfect all the time by any means. But don't mistake that thrill of being attracted to the drama versus meeting someone that brings peace. Don't get caught up in that boredom. Instead, make the shift from being bored with it to now you get to live your life fully. Nobody's distracting you. So you haven't yet walked in this light yet. You haven't yet walked in being who you are, being your true self, being your real self, living your best life, being in the present moment. And when you do that, if you haven't experienced it yet, and when you do that, you will look back and you'll say, oh my gosh, am I glad that's behind me? And when somebody from the past or even someone new comes up and they start talking about the past or the drama of their life, you will see it so clearly where they're at, that they're still living in that. And you will be so happy that you're no longer there. At that point, it's up to you if you want to and feel capable to help them. But they've got to be willing to make the change themselves. They've got to want to have a free, true lifestyle. They have to want to live their best life. And that goes for all of us. You have to make that decision to live your best life. As I said in an earlier episode, if it's our time to make changes, if we are divinely guided to make a certain change, we have the choice. We can either go kicking and screaming, or we can be open to it and look forward to it and embrace it. And my wish for you and my hope for you is that you're ready to fully make that transition. And what's interesting, when you live a certain way, that is your reality. And when you're introduced to another way of living, it can seem very foreign. And that became very clear to me. I didn't get it at first, but it did give me a new understanding. It gave me a better understanding of people that are into all different things. That is their reality. Even if it's something destructive for them, it's still their reality. So we need to make a choice to make the change. I'm talking about living your best life, walking in truth, staying in the present moment. And if you haven't done that very much till this point, it will seem a bit boring, but the rewards are so worth it. And it is exactly what it says, living your best life. With that being said, I will talk to you next week. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.